Hey everyone, and welcome back to Road Trip to Fire, your source for going on your road trip to financial independence. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I want to talk about Galapagos. In February I invested a small amount into some Galapagos shares after the stock had been hit pretty severely over the past months. And now that the Galapagos stock is again in free fall, I want to reevaluate my position, see if it's smart to stay invested, or maybe I should just sell everything. So let's find out. Should we remain invested? Should we invest more, or should we sell off? But first, an important message, because if you want to support my channel, then please like, please subscribe, and help me grow this channel and bring you more interesting news about stocks I'm invested in and you could potentially invest in as well. First, for the people who never heard about Galapagos before, Galapagos is a pharmaceutical company that wants to develop first-in-class medicine. The company discovers proteins which are targets that play a key role in causing diseases such as rheumatoid arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease, and fibrosis, all medicines that actually have a very big market out there. So Galapagos aims to develop small molecules that inhibit these targets, restores the balance, and thereby positively influences the course of disease. So that's basically in a nutshell what they're doing. I'm not going to go deeper into that. Now recently our stock Galapagos, it dropped another 8%, so painful. And why did it drop? Because the CSO Piet Wiggerink announces his departure. So it looks like it was a decision that he made himself. He has been around with Galapagos since 2008, and it caused the stock to drop another 8%. So should be panic for that. Well, looking at this message, they're saying we are grateful. Scientific leadership, vision, and then they actually mention that they're still on track to show the results for two medicines that they are displaying. So we have Galapagos 3667 and 3970. They mentioned Toledo, so Toledo is also one of the medicines that I'm watching. And then they also mentioned this one, 3667. So actually that was not yet on my radar, so very interesting. So it looks like in terms of pipeline, they're saying business as usual, we're continuing to develop, we're continuing to test, and we will be showing our results mid this year. He's also leaving in 5 months, which kind of indicates to me that he wants to leave some heritage when he leaves. So it's not really a big reason for panic. So let's have a look at the stock price and see what happens. If you recall, I bought in the stock in February. That's around here, that's around 70 euros. And since then the stock has traded sideways a little bit, some ups and downs, and a recent 8% down from this after the announcement that the Chief Science Officer left. When we're looking at the stock price now, we're actually looking at the same stock price it had in 2016. So, can we now conclude that the company is worth the same as 2016? Come on guys, the company has 5.1 billion in stock, has a nicely filled pipeline. The only thing it's missing is phase 3 in the pipeline. Otherwise, it's in a much better position than 2016. Let's be honest about that. The stock is undervalued, but it's having a downtrend, and downtrends are just hard to stop. The question is, when will this downtrend stop? When we will see a turn to the upside? It will happen, guys. It will definitely happen. But the stock will need some good news to trigger that. I think the piece of good news that we have to find in its pipeline, it needs a medicine to go to phase 3 of their pipeline. That can really turn the stock around. Until then, we might see it keeping lingering around this position, maybe rise a bit, maybe drop a bit. Let's see. I want to check out the reasons why I decided to buy this stock in February and see if they're still valid today. For me, a reason to sell would be if the reasons why I bought it originally have changed. So I put a few reasons of sector advantage. So pharma stock, pharma stock has done great last year, is doing great this year. So a very, very good sector to be in right now. Galapagos kind of went against the flow, so the stock dropped instead of going up, but that's okay. Additionally, it's located in Belgium. Belgium is kind of like the Silicon Valley of the pharma sector. In Belgium, more vaccines per head of the population for COVID were produced than anywhere else in the world, just to give you an idea of how strong that sector is here. The reason it's so strong is because of the central location, tax advantages, and access to very, very well schooled people here in Belgium. Very good universities, so very, very good place to be for Galapagos. Galapagos has a huge cash position that hasn't changed. They currently have about 5.1 billion in cash. Their stock price together is valued at about 4.6 billion, which means they have more cash than their stock price is worth. They're burning about 300 million cash per year right now, so they have enough cash to continue researching for a long, long time. And then there's their pipeline. So they have an innovative pipeline, and more exactly, I like Toledo. We mentioned a few others, but Toledo is interesting because they're probably the first ones in this pipeline for a while that will announce their phase 2 results. So we do have good hopes for Toledo. We see here when we're going on their site to the Toledo program, here we see phase 1 for this one. So that's great. Another 2 medicines that they are going to approach phase 1. So they mentioned 3667, so also for inflammation diseases. By the way, the market for inflammation is 65 billion, so a really, really big market. And then you have fibrosis, another one approaching the phase 2, and then you have kidney disease. Now, kidney disease, it's also a very, very large market. So in terms of their pipeline, nothing changed in February. If anything, more and more are approaching phase 2. And that's good because they mentioned there is a gap between phase 3 and phase 1. So they really have to close that gap. But there's multiple ways to close it. One is to use their money to just buy additional medicine. And the second one is to research additional medicine. They also lowered the amounts in their pipeline, which is a good thing because they cut out all the high risk ones. So that's great. If you want to support my channel, then please like, please subscribe, and help me grow this channel and bring you more interesting news about stocks I'm invested in and you could potentially invest in as well. If you are interested in this stock, always do your own due diligence, do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just evaluating my own positions. I'm invested in Galapagos. I'm currently considering to do an additional investment. I'm kind of waiting for some good news around the corner, like the Toledo phase 2 results. Right now, I feel like the stock really needs a good news boost to turn around. But I think it could come with the announcement of Toledo results. That could come anywhere between now and the earnings beginning of August. So really now is a good time to keep watching the stock. That means that for now I'm going to stay invested in Galapagos. I'm going to watch the market and see if there's any opportunity for me to buy more. Thank you all for watching and see you next time.